Everything I'm talking about is completely real. It's there. You can't just deny it and make it go away. Just like in the 50s if they said the mob didn't exist. Now that sounds silly, doesn't it? Well, 9/11's an inside job. And I'm going to go over it when we come back. Stay with us. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go live in the second, third, and fourth hour today at prisonplanet.tv. Personal Jesus. And the entire second hour I'm going to devote to Building 7, the key to unlocking 9/11. Oh, you have all the other sectors and areas of the 9/11 attacks. Every one of them proves total inside job. And the official story, of course, makes no sense, has been proven to be a lie. 6 of the 10 commissioners say it's a lie, a cover-up. That's only in the back of the newspaper. The head lawyer, Farmer, says it was a criminal cover-up by the Pentagon. And their official story makes no sense. But then once you realize how they really carried it out, then it all fits together perfectly, and you can see how they did it. How'd they set up the underwear bomber? It was part of a drill. We told you that day one. The eyewitnesses came out. Even before 2009 was over, the Christmas Day bombing. And then 2 months later, the Undersecretary of State, Mr. Kennedy, said, well, yes, we were ordered by an unnamed U.S. intelligence agency to give him a visa and help him get on the plane. The FBI had said the witnesses at the airport and the Haskells were lying. And, of course, they weren't lying when they saw the government get him on the airplane with no passport and no ID. And they were videotaping the whole thing on board the craft. And the young moron Patsy thought it was a drill. Same thing on 9/11. We know Muhammad Atta and others were trained at U.S. military bases, AP, Newsweek, San Jose Mercury News. And it's even on record. Yeah, it's weird. They were trained at bases, but we're not going to have a big discussion about that. And yeah, the government was running live action drills, seeing if they could insert Arabs on planes. And yeah, we've got the recordings where there were real airphone calls made, not the magic cell phones that couldn't work at 30,000 feet, with the stewardesses saying, I can't breathe. There's something in the air. The planes take off. They think it's a drill. They nerve gas, remote control the aircraft from the buildings. That's what happened, okay? But see, I can back up every millimeter of what I just said. And that whole area of the hijackers trained at U.S. bases, that's only conservatively 1/1000th of the issues. I mean, no exaggeration. Within 1 month of 9/11, I had done a 2-hour Road to Tyranny film. The first version. That only offered for a few months, and I made the official version and released it in February, a few months later, of 2002, where I went over more than 500 mainstream news articles, disproving the official story. You know, that's what's sick about this. The truth really comes out. And then if anyone looks at the raw reporting and all the information and points it out, they say, oh, that doesn't exist, you're insane. That's what I'm going to talk about in the next hour, just with Building 7 and the new information that's come out. Is that it's not even new information. It's just another national reporter going, yeah, I was there. And yeah, they were going to blow up Building 7. What's the big deal? What's the big deal with blowing up Building 7? After Silverstein has said they didn't blow up Building 7, after he went on TV and said we blew up Building 7. And then it's not just that. I have all this video of CNN, Fox, you name it, of firefighters and police saying, get back, and you hear the explosions going off, and they say that building's about to completely blow up, and then 10 seconds later it does. I mean, I heard them on the news on ABC radio saying they were going to blow it up 15 minutes before they did. And then I go on air and I say, here they are saying they were going to blow it up. And they say, shut up, you un-American piece of trash. Nobody blew that up. Shut up, you un-American piece of trash. The hijackers weren't trained at U.S. military bases. It doesn't matter if at the Defense Language School, the dean, Colonel Stephen Butler, went public and said, this is a government operation in a letter to the San Jose Mercury News. These people were trained at our base. I don't know exactly what happened, but aeda sat in my classroom. Okay? I'll tell you what this new information pertains to and why it's so upsetting to me. Because every time we get proven right, it doesn't make me happy. It makes me sick. But let me tell you something. If we don't own up to who's running our country and how bad it is, 9/11 is nothing compared to what these murderers are going to do. And you are the target. You remember that. You see, I can't make a conscious decision like most people do to lie to myself and say 2 + 2 = 5. I can't do it. I can't lie to myself. Just because the truth is scary, I can't rationalize what's going on. And that's why I'm so disgusted about the new information that I'm going to cover in detail in the next hour. Is because I understand the psychology of the controllers more and more. And the more I get in their mind, the more disgusting it is. It's like I'm locked in a cell with these people psychologically. You can't help but just get the dirt on you psychically. You dance with the devil doesn't change, he changes you. Just the knowledge of it. I always wondered why when they had disinfo operatives in the media and disinfo operatives on the ground in the last 8+ years at Ground Zero who demonize and come up and get in the face of 9/11 truthers, why they'd always march up and say, so you're saying firemen and police were involved in the attacks? And we'd say no, but they are on video saying get back, they're going to bring down, they're going to blow up Building 7. They're going to bring it down, they're going to pull it, they're going to blow it up. Those are all quotes on TV. And I wondered why they always invoke that in the newspapers. And it's meant so that firemen and police hear that and get angry and say, well, I'm not involved. Sure, I heard they were going to blow it up, but that was just because, they didn't want Building 7 to damage anything. And that's psychologically involving the police and the firemen, many of which died in Tower 1 and 2, in the crime, when they're not involved in the crime. But then after the fact, they do become involved in the crime because all these thousands of police and firemen and medical workers and federal agents and others who were all down there in lower Manhattan, all around Building 7, and heard the countdown that multiple police are on record saying happened. And you can see the media and the police start running and the cops say, get back, they're about to blow it up. That building's coming down. They're bringing it down. We're gonna play that audio and video coming up. And we've got dozens of them and time constraints. I don't know. I guess I'll play 5, 6 clips. I mean, that's another issue. There's just so much evidence. It's disgusting. And then I read this Fox News contributor, Jeffrey Scott Shapiro, and he's like, oh, shame on Jesse Ventura. He's discredited, he says, because he's going on national TV and saying the government blew up Building 7 as a pretext for war. And, there's really no big deal with Building 7. I was there that day, he says, and, I talked to the city officials, I talked to the power company, and, Larry Silverstein got on the phone and called the insurance company and said, we need to have a controlled demolition of 7 so it doesn't damage other buildings. And he just throws it out there like it's no big deal. When Silverstein went on PBS in, 2003,